Hey guys, welcome to Quinian's Budget Crafts. So if you've been watching the channel for a little bit, you know I was working on that salt marsh house. I have not given up on it. A patron requested it. I think he may have bailed, but that's okay. He requested it. He's still getting it. Let's go short and simple today. Let's continue doing some scatter terrain for that house. Or, anywhere you need some dishes. For the cup portion on this, we'll just use some of these plastic or rubber, whatever they are, the protector sleeves that go over your new paintbrushes. Just grab one that's the size you like and cut a little piece off, and then flare out the end of it with a pen or pencil, something that's cone shaped that you can shove it over. Once you get it all flared out, go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue in the bottom of it and stick a toothpick in there. You just have to keep sort of moving it around and stuff until the glue solidifies so the toothpick stays in the center. If you want to leave this clear so that it's a glass, you might want to be a little bit more careful than I'm being, but I'm going to paint it so I don't really care. Once your glue dries, go ahead and snip it off whatever length you want the stem of the goblet to be. To make the base on it, we'll take some Aquaphor and rub it on a washer on the inside and the top and the bottom, just all over. Just coat the whole thing in Aquaphor. Then rub a little spot of it on your mat so that the glue will not stick to your mat either. Put a little hot glue on the bottom of your toothpick and stick it into the center of the washer. That will keep the glue from spreading too far without, being round. If you've gotten too much glue, you'll just have to peel it off and try again. You really need a very little bit here. That only takes a couple seconds to dry, and then you can pick it up, and there you go. Neat little goblet chalice thing. For the knife, I'm just going to use one of these plastic toothpick things. It's a box of spears. Just trim the spearhead portion off. Save you some work. The cross section of this is shaped like a star or a cross, so you have to flatten two sides of it. Just put it flat on your mat and scrape it with your X-Acto knife. Or you could use sandpaper if you want. Then use some sandpaper or an emery board and keep swiping it on there until you get basically a knife shape. If you scrape it in a swiping motion, that'll help to round the tip of it to make it actually look like a knife blade. Then just snip it off. And to put a little pommel and crossguard on it, I know it's not that kind of weapon, but you need something to make it look right. Anyway, to put that on there, the little bit of glue that seeps out the tip of the glue gun, that's what you want. You don't want to squeeze the trigger of it at all. Just sort of put a little blob on there and do circles until you've got like a little thing built up. And then do the same thing with the crossguard section. There we go, that's what that looks like. To make a fork, you basically do the same thing. You just flatten out the sides of it, and then use a file or a Dremel tool or whatever you want to cut a little notch in there. I went ahead and trimmed up the sides of it just below the forked area so it has like a little bit of shape to it, and then repeat the thing with the hot glue on the very end of it, just to give it a defined handle. For the plate itself, I used the bottom of a crazy glue bottle. I just cut that off with a Dremel. Be very careful with those. Those cut-off wheels can break, and then they go flying across the room at about 1,000,000 miles an hour, so wear some eye protection. To put some food on this plate, just use a couple little blobs of hot glue to make some vaguely food-shaped blobs. And then some of these round gem things I've mentioned before. They're the ones that you stick on your face. These little round ones are good, though. They look like an assorted green veggie, Brussels sprouts or something. Just super glue them on, and then paint up everything however you want. I'm using a silver paint marker on the platter. I think it looks pretty nice. I'm doing that on the metal portions of the utensils as well. And I also went and spray painted the cup too. Sticking with those paint markers, I'm just doing the handles in brown. I already did all the blades in silver. And of course the green on the little round veggies there. For those hot glue blobs on the utensils, just put a little bit of gold. It's kind of fancy, but this is for the salt marsh house in my case, so yeah, it's a mansion or manor or something. They're going to have nice things. For the platter to put the plate on, I just used one of those poker chips that I've mentioned before for mini bases. Spray painted that a flat gray as well. Decided that cup needed to have something in it, so I just went ahead and filled it up with hot glue and then painted it yellow with a little bit of white dry brushing on top. As far as attaching everything, that's up to you how you want to do it. Just a couple drops of super glue and stick it all down. I probably will not be using the platter that's got the plate and food and stuff on it in Saltmarsh because that place has been abandoned for 20 years, so that would be really weird. But just as an example of what you can do, looks a little strange sitting in my hand like that, but if I put it in this Hero Kids Tavern, that makes a bit more sense. This one here that doesn't have any kind of organics on it, that's the Saltmarsh one. There you go. That's how you make some assorted dishes or food or whichever way you want to take it. I mean, you can do a lot of different things with that. Like I mentioned, the Saltmarsh House was a patron request. If you want to get in there and tell me what to build, go on over to Patreon and sign up. In the description below, I also have links to my website that's got Amazon affiliate links to the bejewel your face thingies and the paint markers and all that good stuff. All the tools I like to use. But anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.